Alright guys, welcome back to Fog Wrestling for another ECW review here for the 20th of February 2007. Now this was the first ECW show after the No Way pay-per-view, and why is that relevant, may you ask? It's because the ECW Championship was actually defended at No Way. We had no idea about this, or else we would have watched the match, but we didn't, and I've got no real interest in watching Bobby Lashley against Mr. Kennedy.
This
anyway.
must have had, 2 days build because he was on SmackDown?
Yeah, Bobby Lashley was feeder-along special guest on SmackDown, so for some reason they must have got in. I mean, Mr. Kennedy, once again, getting another shot at a world champion and not, you know what I mean, like not getting the title won. A guy, I think at this stage of the career, you can just kind of tell Mr. Kennedy's never really going to be a world champ, can you? I mean, I think it's a bit...
He's had some claim to fame as I've beat 7 world champions, but he's including like DQ finishes and all.
But I've never been a world champ then, I mean...
Come on, mate.
I mean, come on.
Like, it's not like you've just been here for like a month. Or 6 months. Like, 2 years?
Yeah, guy must be about 2 years. So, anyway, we kick off the show with a new breed promo. Basically, well, I say new breed promo. It was Elijah Burke and Matt Striker doing all the talking. The other two guys just stood there.
Monty Brown can talk.
Kevin Thorne just shouldn't be in this. The guy's a vampire. What? It doesn't make sense that he's friends with these guys. I mean, it doesn't. Like, you know what I mean?
I know.
But like Gangrel in the fucking Job Squad trying to get equal rights, or whatever, are paid. I mean, the guy wouldn't care. He just wants blood. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on.
He should be. Exactly.
I mean, he shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. Kevin Thorne shouldn't be giving a shit whether he's on team or the originals or, you know, the new guys. I mean, he shouldn't be on a team. He should be on his own team.
Exactly.
He should be the Kevin Thorne team. You know what I mean?
Him and as many people he can infect.
As many freaks as, you know, he can get to follow him. But we don't get that, you know. So, they just chuck him in here. When you can put Mike Knox in. I mean, Mike Knox would have been a much better fit, I believe.
Mike Knox is back. He's already been jobbed out.
And we'll probably never see him again. So, there you go. Mike Knox. I don't think the guy's that bad, to be fair. I think he's a decent in-ring performer. The matches they had against Punk were always decent.
Yeah.
I felt they could have went somewhere with the whole Kelly split storyline, but as soon as they split...
They got major heat and then they just extinguished it.
I think I've seen someone compare Mike Knox and Kelly to Sable and Mark Merrill.
No, Sable and Mark Merrill's better.
No, but I mean, as soon as Mark Merrill split with Sable, did his career not just die?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did.
There was no like push for Mark Merrill after he split with Sable.
Marvelous Mark Merrill. I think he just went back to being a face.
I don't know.
Johnny be bad?
I think he teamed up with Jacqueline for a couple of weeks, but
Johnny be bad.
Nothing memorable. Anyway, that pretty much sums up Mike Knox. Throws the flowers in Kelly's face, hits his finisher, cuts a promo the following week, and then nothing memorable after that because he's disappeared for 2 months. And he wasn't on this show, so I don't know why we've wasted time talking about Mike Knox. But anyway...
They picked Kevin Thorne to take on Van Damme.
Yep, so Matt Striker says that anyone from the new breed can defeat anyone from the originals, and they pick Kevin Thorne. Then the originals come out, Sandman leading the way. Does that mean Sandman's going to be in the match? Does it hell? It's Rob Van Dam. Because Sandman doesn't do matches, he just drinks beer.
And Dreamer loses to everyone, bar Thorne.
Exactly, and Sabu botches.
And they wanted to be a competitive match. You know?
So, I mean,
Dreamer would have buried them.
Dreamer would have lost in 2 seconds. Sandman would have just done a Sandman match, and Sabu would have botched about 10 moves. So RVD was obviously the number 1 pick, the only pick really. And RVD, it was a good match actually. It was alright. Opening match ECW, a lot of brawling on the outside by
helps when the crowd are into it.
The crowd was actually into this ECW show for some reason.
You're ready.
I don't know. Some weeks you get, I don't know. It must just depend on the area. Some weeks the crowd are hyped, and other weeks the crowd are fucking dead.
Yep.
Anyway, RVD, a bunch of near falls. Match looked like it could have went either way, but I felt like you always thought RVD was winning it because it's the main man. And then RVD eventually does win.
If Van Damme can't beat Thorne, what chance is the original?
The rest of the gun, you know what I mean? So, yeah, anyway, Van Damme wins. 5-star frog splash, and yeah. One, I guess, is a win for the originals. They got humped last week. They lost every match, but, you know, they get a win this week. Up next, we've got a promo package for SNITSKY. Oh, SNITSKY. It's a vignette, yeah. Shows you him battering people, then you get a close-up of his face, and then it ends with SNITSKY.
It's as if it's his audition tape for See No Evil or something.
Yeah. I don't mind Snitsky. I think the guy's an alright heel.
He's better than A-Train.
Yes, better than A-Train. Up next was CM Punk taking on Johnny Nitro. Winner. It's Raw versus ECW. Winner gets a shot at the Money in the Bank paper. So winner goes into the Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania, essentially. Another good match. CM Punk gets the win. I've always felt like CM Punk was going to win this. To me, it just wouldn't have made sense to have a Raw.
Due to his great MMA background.
But it wouldn't really have made sense to me to have a Raw guy that is, not higher. If this is like Randy Orton or Edge coming to ECW, I totally get that. But to me, if you're going to have someone for Raw like a Nitro or a Benjamin or a Carlito to take on Punk, I just don't really see them winning.
Yeah.
They're at the same kind of level. And I just didn't see them coming in to beat Punk. And they didn't beat Punk. Punk won with the go to sleep. Was it the first time Punk used the go to sleep? Or am I smoking shit?
It might be.
They always use. He's always down the corner face. But this time he hit the go to sleep after Johnny Nitro missed a mad Starship Moonlight splash or whatever. Aye, well, something like that. Something like that. Anyway, Punk wins.
Not what you said, big man.
Punk is the second man in the Money in the Bank match. He joins Edge. So,
on this day.
Interesting stuff right there. I can't even remember who wins that match. So,
Money in the Bank?
Right.
It's Kennedy.
Is it?
Then Edge wins it off him, I think.
Okay, I just showed you they fought Kennedy. Well, I think
that was a good Money in the Bank ladder match. Probably
anyway,
star-studded one, I think.
Speaking of Mr. Kennedy, up next,
he's backstage being interviewed by
Rebecca. There's something weird about this Rebecca. She just seems like she's not here or something. Like, I don't know, just very monotone. Not as bad as Keith Lee, but yeah, I mean,
she's better than Keith Lee.
Well, she looks better than Keith Lee, so I mean, she's got that positive, I guess.
Well, if you can't beat him, maybe I can beat him.
I think she refers to Kennedy as a challenger tonight, and he doesn't take that too well because he says he beat Bobby Lashley at the pay-per-view, and he's already beat 6 other world champions as well. So I don't know his claim. He is the challenger, whether he likes it or not. Yeah. It doesn't matter who he's beat. He's not the champ, so he's the challenger. So Rebecca's not wrong, but Kennedy didn't take too kind to it, and then he essentially blames Hardcore. Did he blame Hardcore? It sounds something not fair. No, Hardcore Holly comes in. You said you knew Hardcore Holly was coming in. What did he say? No, he was essentially complaining that why is Hardcore Holly in the match.
And he's like, because this is the way ECW.
Life ain't fair.
I've been beating everyone.
And he says Hardcore's his show. He says life's not fair. And then it kind of just ends abruptly. Yep. No comeback response from Mr. Kennedy. And then we go straight to La Resistance.
And talking about life not being fair, we had to sit through La Resistance against Los Luchas, a.k.a...
I mean, I didn't think Sylvain Grenier made it past 2005.
And here he is.
In 2007, so I mean... Does he make it into 2008? I'd bet my life no. I don't really get this. I mean, I thought it was Rene Dupree on his own, and then all of a sudden... He's partnered back up with Sylvain Grenier. Apparently, these guys were 4-time world champs.
Why would a tag team move the ECW unless you're like an original?
Well, there's no tag belts. Well, if you're making your debut, I get that. But if you're established and you've been tag champs before, you surely want to be tag champs again.
Awful.
And they referenced in their promo that they're the best tag team ever. Yet they're on ECW, a brand with 8 tag team titles.
Awful.
What does that make?
Awful.
It's like, see, when the major bros come up, like, it's like, fair enough, it's just 2 fucking jobbers that are making their debut, so, But, I don't know.
And they buried them in like 30 seconds?
Yeah, they were taking on Los Luchas, but it looked like 2 guys from the Middle East. I mean, if it was Los Luchas, should it not be 2, like, Hispanic luchadors with masks?
Exactly.
It looked like 2 guys that fucking...
And one of them broke their ass.
Oh, yeah, one of them got thrown to the outside, big tailbone impacts, whatever you want to call it. The best thing about this match was the ending, though. La Resistance are making their way to the back, and you just see like SNITSKY running at the from the back, and then Taz like, oh, that's SNITSKY, and then fucking Joey Styles is selling it as well, and SNITSKY kind of just runs straight through the middle like a Braun Strowman style run. Oh, by the way, have you seen when? Oh my god, on Raw, Braun Strowman. You know that thing he does where he pretends he's a train?
Aye.
And he
sound effects, didn't they?
Yeah. It's like Thomas the fucking Tank. But anyway, Snitsky, he comes right. I see when I seen him come from the back, sneaking out like a big fucking predator. I thought, oh, that's why they put La Resistance in ECW because Snitsky's going to batter them. But
I'm
no,
not finished with you.
Snitsky runs past the two guys that it would at least be semi-credible if he beat them up. He runs straight past them into the ring where he takes on the two guys that are combined 180 pounds and just delivers two big boots to them and then stares at the camera and walks off.
Well, what a guy.
Two big boots. I mean, these are guys that weigh like literally 120 pounds. Think of the fucking big, massive, impactful move Snitsky could have done on these guys. And he just hits them with a big boot.
I know.
I mean, he could have literally fucking got the one guy up on his finger and spinned him like a pizza.
Why not like a powerbomb through the table, announce table?
He could have powerbombed them from the ring. I mean, the guy already took one big bump. Why not take another?
I know.
That guy was that light. He could have legit fucking tossed him. He could have grabbed them and threw him out and wiped out live resistance, even though they were that far up the ramp. But no, he just comes in, hits a couple of big boots, and that's it. I mean, the guys went from attacking Lashley to attacking CM Punk to attacking two guys we'll never see on TV again. I mean, this wasn't even the FBI. What the fuck's the FBI?
How can Snitsky go for attacking the world champ, the Punk, to this?
Should not be the opposite way about.
Yep, but no, it ain't. It's garbage.
Who's he going to attack next week? That's what I want to know.
The bin man.
Rebecca?
The guys who set up the ring.
I mean, Mr. Perfect, he's been dead about, what, 3 years?
Gonna dig up his coffin and I'm not finished. I know it's Strowman, but talk about Mr. Perfect. He's being inducted to the Hall of Fame, and Taz and Joey Styles made it as if he was dead. Well,
yes.
Yeah, he is.
They made it as if he was the greatest ever. I mean, again, like, I think Mr. Perfect's alright, right? I think he's decent. But it's this thing when you die, you get overhyped, right? Eddie Guerrero was great, right? But he's not, right? Eddie Guerrero's not as good as people make him out to be. He's not the best in-ring worker ever. He's not the best in-ring performer ever. He's not the best technical wrestler ever. He's not the most charismatic guy ever. He's not the best promo guy ever. Eddie Guerrero was like a solid all-round, in my opinion. Like, 8. I mean, if you break it down this like categories, Eddie Guerrero probably doesn't get he probably scores like 8 9s in every category.
Yeah,
but he's not a 10 at nothing.
He's not the man.
He's not. I mean, he's not an Austin. He's not a Michaels. He's not a Taker. He's just not. I mean, Eddie Guerrero's not Shawn Michaels in the ring. He's not, right? And Eddie Guerrero could die another 15 times, and he's not going to be as good as Shawn Michaels. Just got to put that out there. But anyway, if you want to overrate someone...
Same with Chris Benoit.
Like, well, he doesn't get overrated. He gets underrated.
Underrated, overused.
Like, see if I died, I wouldn't want people saying, oh, see that Son of Scotland 90 channel was the best YouTube channel ever. Because it wouldn't be true, you know what I mean?
I know.
Maybe top 10, like, but not best ever. Come on, guys, fuck. I mean, cut some slack. Anyway, up next, we have Extreme Expose.
That was before that.
They actually got to finish their dance, and it felt awkward because normally this is set up just so someone can come out and like interrupt it, but then they actually finished it, and it just felt like lackluster.
And it got followed by them talking depressingly about Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, and then like Taz is like, "Oh, I heard you." Taz said to Joey Styles that he what do you call it?
I don't know. You rewinded it. You should know.
You choreographed that, yeah. And the Styles didn't really know what to say, and he's like,
yes.
I say I don't know how to respond to that. Then they just kind of awkwardly talked about the next inducted into the Hall of Fame, which was Mr. Perfect. Then we go into the main event, guys. Mr. Kennedy, Hardcore Holly, Lashley. Why not just make it an Extreme Rules match straight off the bat? Why? I'll tell you why. Because Hardcore Holly's a boring bastard, and we can't try and do anything good. Even if it was Extreme Rules, nothing good.
He shot himself since he split his back open.
Yeah, that's a possibility. So it's a boring match. Hardcore Holly, Kennedy team up. I mean, who didn't see that coming?
Yeah. 2
white guys beating up a black dude. I mean, come on. We knew it was going to happen. 2 heels beating up a face, more likely, but you know. Then Lashley gets his comeback, hits some big suplexes, power slams, clotheslines. Mr. Kennedy goes to the side. Hardcore Holly grabs a chair. I don't know why they didn't do this sooner. Apparently it's no DQ, but he's only grabbing a chair now. Kicks the chair into Bobby Lashley's face. Picks him up for the Alabama Slam. The chair is positioned in the middle of the ring perfectly for Hardcore Holly to use the chair and slam him onto the chair with the Alabama Slam. But he chooses to move and slam him onto the mat instead of the chair. I mean,
I would have bet my life he was going to do it in the chair.
Yeah,
if it was anyone bar Holly.
Then you'd be dead. Holly then goes to pin Lashley, and Lashley doesn't kick out, but Mr. Kennedy pulls the referee out. So, don't panic, guys. Hardcore Holly isn't your new ECW champion, but he should have been, because they had Bobby Lashley beat. Then he pulls in Mr. Kennedy to the ring. He smacks down Kennedy. Bobby Lashley Kennedy picks up the chair, goes to hit Bobby Lashley, hits Hardcore Holly instead. Then Lashley picks up, what's his name, Mr. Kennedy, hits him with a running power slam, gets the win. Hardcore Holly had the match won. Then he got hit with the steel chair and he didn't get pinned. So Hardcore Holly again looking strong. Why we're booking him strong, I don't fucking know. I can only assume he's getting another title shot next week. And
I can't wait.
Spoiler alert, guys. Next week, I believe it is Bobby Lashley defending the ECW Championship against Hardcore Holly in a steel cage match. So
seriously,
that will be worth checking out.
No, it isn't.
I think it might be. But anyway, guys, that's how the show ends. Bobby Lashley celebrates in the crowd with the belt. Thoughts on this show?
I'd say one of the better shows, but there was a bit of jobber hangs on it.
The matches were good. I'm not going to count the Lar Resistance because that wasn't a match. That was just a fucking waste of time. The matches were alright, but I felt like there was a lack of segments, promos.
Yep.
Like, we had that stupid thing backstage with Mr. Kennedy. We had the opening promo. We had the, here comes SNITSKY thing. We had the Extreme Expose. To me, it was too match heavy. But the matches were good.
I'll give it a 5.
I think a 5's fair.
I wouldn't say it was anything overly bad.
I'll give it a 5 as well. But I think it would have been better if there was just more promos. Like,
yeah.
Out
from who? I'm trying to think. Anyone?
But see, with the originals, Newbridge, should that not kind of be forced throughout the show? The fact that after 10 minutes, that's that whole thing done.
Yeah, I know.
Then what do you have?
I know.
You've got CM Punk Nitro, which isn't a storyline, so it feels a bit dead, even though it's an important.
Would it not be better if Lashley was defending in a triple threat match against one new breed and one original? Then it would feel like there was a bit of tension.
Yeah.
Instead of Hardcore Holly, who, let's face it, guys, could bore fucking paint drying.
I'm surprised Snitsky hasn't attacked Tommy Dreamer yet. I mean, Tommy Dreamer's just waiting there to be buried, to be battered, you know what I mean?
Anyway, guys, 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10, there you go.
Next week, 27, Steel Cage, tune in.
Can't wait.
I can't wait.
But until then,
peace.